Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you're seeing us, guys. We are live. This is your 2024 Thanksgiving edition of the Around the Ropes podcast. Obviously, in the States, we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving this coming Thursday. So hopefully you guys are ready for all your turkey and stuffing. And it's not going to be watching football because we all know the games are going to suck. But just bear with me 2 seconds here because I do want to go share the show out so people can watch and we can get some people to join us. Again, guys, don't mind me. I'm coming off having a cough right now, so hold on, give me a second here. But yeah, guys, like I said, we have a lot to get to. It's a lot of stuff's going on right now in the world of pro wrestling as we are close to. It's weird to think here. We're actually only a few weeks out from the end of 2024. So, like I said, we got a lot to get to. We had Full Gear was this past weekend. This weekend we got Survivor Series coming up. Next weekend we got Deadline coming up. So we got that to talk about. I'll give you my predictions as well. I also want to talk a little bit about how I think with the men's Survivor Series War Games match, I don't know if Roman Reigns' team is going to win. It's been going way too smooth, I think, in the last couple of weeks. But actually, that's kind of where I want to start off with is this past Friday night on SmackDown when it was introduced that CM Punk was going to be the 5th member. And everybody was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. You know, they want to be all Samoans. And to be honest with you, it was actually done perfectly. Because for the first time, and if I can remember in a long, long time, that we ended up having a setup where, you know, the introduction made perfect sense. The introduction made perfect sense on all of it. And it was something that, because people forget that when you look at the storyline with Punk and when everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe Punk is included in this, you know, it makes perfect sense. Because now you can further the storyline in essence with him and Seth Rollins. Because let's be honest, we all know when we get to Las Vegas next year for WrestleMania 41, we all know who we're going to get. It's going to be Rollins and Punk. But also, April is not that far away, and you kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, we're now just getting the people who are going to be in the Rumble. So eventually the seeds are going to have to get planted for Mania, and I think that's where we're going to see a lot of that coming out this Saturday for Survivor Series. I know they always say the Rumble is the start of Mania season. I think now, with how different the product is and how different everything is, I think now you have to look at it as after Saturday, because you got to remember, we have no pay-per-views coming up. After Saturday, the next pay-per-view, PLE, I'm sorry, I have to call it the right terminology. The next PLE that we have coming up is in February of next year when we have the Royal Rumble. Because we have nothing in December. I mean, yes, granted, we do have whatchamacallit. We do have Deadline, but that's more NXT. So we all know that how that's going to play out. So as far as main roster stuff, the next stop we have is the Royal Rumble. That's an indie. I think February 1st or 2nd of next year. So we're going almost 2 months after Saturday without any sort of pay-per-view or PLE. And it is something that I think if you're WWE and you want to play this off smart and you want to make WrestleMania 41 bigger. Just bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to share the show out to more people so we can get more people to interact with us and go from there. But hold on 1 second. Like I said, I think that's the only way you can do it. And I'm being realistic right now. Is the only way you can realistically do that is you got to start pulling the trigger on stuff. And I'm not saying, announce the matches now, but at least start planting seeds as we head into the Rumble. And we head in, because, remember, with the way the paper PLE schedule is next year, it's much different. Where for years it was you always had the Rumble in January. Then you normally had the Chamber in usually February. March was kind of iffy, depending on how it played out, because sometimes you could get Mania in March. Or I remember there was a couple of years that they started doing Fastlane in March. So, and then April, you have Mania. So you only have it coming out of this Saturday. You only have 3 pay-per-views, 3 PLEs before we get to WrestleMania. I mean, yes, granted, it's an interesting time right now in the WWE because of the fact that you have you have Survivor Series this weekend. In a couple of weeks, we got the return of Saturday night's main event right here on Long Island. January 6th, we got the debut on Netflix. So there's a lot of small things happening now. There's a lot of small stuff happening before we get to WrestleMania in April of next year. And guys, by the way, as you guys always know, you guys can leave your comments below. We'll definitely get to them a little bit later on in the show. We'll be doing our predictions for Survivor Series 2024, and we'll get into that. As far as Full Gear goes, unfortunately, I did not get a chance to see it in its entirety. I saw clips of it. There was an interesting topic brought up about it. I want to bring it up to you guys. We have all these strong, dominant heels right now. We got Kyle Fletcher. We got what's his face? We got Bobby Lashley. But right now, who are the strong baby faces right now in AEW? Who is that? I mean, realistically, right now, the only one I can think of who's a strong babyface is Orange Cassidy. That's the only strong babyface you got right now. Because anybody else right now, to me, is either tough to get a hold of or it doesn't really, doesn't really matter. We got some comments coming here. What's going on, Richard? How you doing, my friend? David says, hey, John, enjoyed the anniversary show last week. I got real nostalgic with Ryan making an appearance and your lady, Amanda, making her ATR debut. Top the night off. David, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Guys, if you missed last week's show or any shows that we've done in the 3 years of this network being around, go to our Facebook page, go to our YouTube page. It costs you nothing. Hit the subscribe button, and it's free for you. It literally, it costs you nothing. And the fact that, we can offer that right now is a big thing. Richard goes, there isn't one. They're trying to push Orange Cassidy, Swerve, and Ospreay as the top guys, but they really haven't. Yeah, but it's funny though, Richard. You bring up an interesting point though, because you look at AEW, and I said this now for a while on the show. AEW, there's no clear-cut babyface and heels. I mean, you see it now, especially in AEW, where you can put two guys in the ring and they're both baby faces. I mean, people who have watched the show from Jump Street know my issue with AEW, and it's solely on the fact of the booking. Half the time doesn't make sense. That's why, I'm looking forward to this Continental Classics that's starting tomorrow, actually. And we'll go into that later on, because that's going to be some compelling TV, especially the fact that you got Daniel Garcia, who just won the TNT title on Saturday from Jack Perry. You got Okada in there, who, let's be honest, the way they're doing that whole thing, Okada's bound to lose the title next. Richard said Kenny Omega would be the best babyface to use, but he'd rather be in New Japan. Well, here's the thing, Richard. I don't know if you saw Kenny Omega just did an interview last week with Sean Ross Sapp, and he asked him about that. Why making his return to New Japan before AEW, and Kenny said that he feels like AEW right now is in a good position. And ow, I rubbed my eye too hard. Ow, that hurt. And also, he looks at it as, if it wasn't for New Japan, nobody would know who Kenny Omega is. Yeah, I just read that. That Tony Khan is pulling Ricky Starks. Because, and this is what I don't understand, okay? And I would love somebody to explain this to me. You got a guy in Ricky Starks, and I'm kicking myself for not going to that GCW show this past weekend. I really am kicking myself. I would love to have been there. But you have a guy in Ricky Starks who has everything, who has the charisma, who has, I mean, we were talking about before about big baby faces. There's a huge baby face right there. But for some asinine reason, and I don't know why, it's almost like if you had some sort of interaction with CM Punk and you were in AEW, Tony Khan doesn't want to use you right now. Case in point, look at Danhausen. Danhausen could have been back in AEW months ago. But conveniently, it's the old line of creative has nothing for you. I'm sorry. To me, you look at somebody like Ricky Starks. The guy has everything. He has the it factor. And you're going to sit there and tell me that you have nothing for Ricky Starks right now? Gee, I don't know. Why not bring him back and, I don't know, put him in a meaningful title program for the TNT? Okay, fine. You don't want to put him for the main title right now? Okay, fine. Why not put him for the TNT title? A thing with him and Daniel Garcia? And I know everybody's going to sit there and say, Daniel Garcia's, with them, it doesn't, with AEW, it doesn't matter. So the problem is, you look at how it's done right now with Ricky Starks. I would have loved to have seen him been a part of GCW. Him versus Cardona, let's go. But unfortunately, Tony Khan has turned into Vince McMahon. And I hate to say this, and believe me, you guys know, if you guys have been watching the show since the start 3 years ago, you guys all know that I don't David said, I saw something on a podcast where Bubba Ray was saying that AEW can't top WWE did. I'm going to get to that in a second. Wait, Richard, what's wrong? David, what you're talking about is on Friday night on SmackDown when after Punk came out and nobody was talking, nobody was moving a fucking muscle, and you had the crowd at your feet. Because what they're doing is, and people don't want to accept, I don't know if they don't want to accept it or they don't understand it, is this whole Bloodline storyline is getting much. It is, I mean, I give them a lot of credit. I don't know personally if this is more of Roman Reigns is controlling this story or if it's more of the writers and they're just, going with the flow at this point. But yeah, I definitely agree with Bubba Ray. Well, Richard, that's the other thing that makes things very interesting is the outfit he was wearing. That's why Saturday I think something's gonna happen in that main event. Because let's be honest, I can't see anything else. We're gonna go over the card in a little bit here. I can't see anything else closing out that show. And this is my other thing, okay? I get the fact that under Hunter, he doesn't have many matches on the pay-per-view. On the cards. Okay, I understand. But for a third pay-per-view in a row, third PLE in a row, going back to SummerSlam, you're not going to have Cody Rhodes on, and Cody Rhodes is your heavyweight champion, is your undisputed champion right now, but you're not going to have him on. I think they announced his next title defense won't be until December 14th when he takes on Kevin Owens. David says, I'm enjoying the long-term factor with the Bloodline. I wasn't keen at the beginning, but honestly, it's getting more exciting in my opinion. And Richard said, something tells me that The Rock is going to get involved in the match, so we get the long-awaited. Well, Richard, that was kind of that's been kind of the plan going into Mania. Is that we were going to, because if you remember, we were supposed to get Rock and Roman last year in Philly. That was the original plan. But it ended up not happening that way. Instead, obviously, we all know Cody, in that tag team match, night one, where it was him and Seth taking on Rock and Roman, and then night two, it was Bloodline rules and, all that crap. But I'm going to be honest right now. I hate to say this. I think Cody, as your undisputed champion, I don't know where it's missing with him. I don't know if it's more of they can't, he has to turn heel already. Because I think the babyface crap with him is not working. Or could it be something simple as, look, it's just not clicking with him? Because to me, when he comes to the ring, okay, and I know a lot of Cody in the last year, a lot of his stories, with AJ Styles, Logan Paul, have all been filler matches and have all been filler stuff because, let's be honest, they weren't going to drop Cody that quickly. Let's call a spade a spade. Especially when they built him up as long as they've had. I mean, you built this guy up. You have to remember something. You built this guy up when he came back at WrestleMania 38. And it was there that all of a sudden they pushed it for 39. 39, obviously, we all know what happened. And then 40, his whole thing of, I have to finish my story. Yeah, it was great and all. Don't get me wrong. But the problem is, it was more entertaining with him when he was chasing the belt. When he was chasing the belt, it was incredibly entertaining. Now, I don't know. Now it's like, I think it's also because they haven't done. I mean, I think the problem is because every feud has been bleh with him right now. I mean, we still have. I mean, I don't know what we're going to get with him and Kevin. Do I think Kevin could win the belt? Yes. Wait, hold on, let me rephrase it. There's a difference here. Do I think he can win the belt? Yeah, absolutely. Would I want him to win the belt if I'm WWE? Unfortunately, no. Because they put themselves in a really tough position right now. They put themselves in a real tough position right now. Richard, I'm going to hold off on New Day stuff because I definitely want to touch on that when we come back from break here. Guys, you are watching the Around the Ropes podcast, but I do have to take a breather for 5 minutes because as you guys can tell, my throat is killing me right now. So we're going to play the video package for Alex Ryman and actually, no, we're not going to do that one. We're going to go to the video of me getting the Tech Bay athlete going because why not? Guys, we'll be right back after this. You're watching the On Ropes podcast right here on the YouTube and Facebook page. We'll be right back right after this. First, let me introduce to you the team of Aaron Roxas and Anthony Gangone, Dr. Sleep, and Amity Devil. And we are back here live. Yeah, guys, again, I'm not going to be on that long tonight because obviously my throat is killing me right now. But let me get back to the comments here because we did have a comment coming in here about the New Day. And next week is their 10-year anniversary, which I got to give WWE credit with the New Day. I remember when the New Day first started, and God, I can't believe it's been 10 years already since they started. And I wasn't sure what they were going to be. I thought at first, and maybe this is on my part, they seemed very much, it seemed at the beginning, it seemed a lot like Nation of Domination. That's the vibe I was getting. Now, if they do end up breaking up next week, and, going off what Richard said here, would Kofi go back to his old gimmick beforehand? I'll be honest, I don't know. Because I don't know who would be the one to turn. Because obviously we saw on last night on Raw that just before hold on one second here. I don't know. Because here's my only issue. When you look at okay, cool. Like I said, I don't know. Because I think they both had their valid points to make. What I'm just curious to see, and I'm very intrigued, is what role does Big E have in this come next week? Because let's be honest, Big E, he's going to become the savior. What's going on, honey? How you doing? And David says, Kofi threw a curveball, confusing the masses as to who will actually turn. I don't know. Because I think this is a position that they put themselves in that they almost have to break them up. Yeah, I'm not saying at some point they're not going to reunite again. But realistically, I mean, let's be honest. You look at what they've done. And you look at what they've done as a unit, the three of them. Kofi, Big E, and Xavier. I mean, other than I'm going to pull up their stats right now. Other than potentially more tag team title reigns, which that'd be great. Don't get me wrong. They don't really need anything else. There's really nothing else that they can do. I mean, I feel that could. I mean, right now they've been together now since July 21st, 2024. So yeah, it is. Wow, it was now long already. Give me a second here. Here we go. And here's just a list of awards that the New Day has won. From CBS Sports, they won the Best Moment / Angle of the Year in 2019, where Kingston won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. For Pro Wrestling Illustrated, they were the Tag Team of the Year in 2015 and 2016. Kofi Kingston was ranked number 4 on the top 500 singles wrestler in the PWI 500 in 2019. Big E was ranked 9th in the PWI 500 in 2022. Xavier was 58th in 2016, and they were ranked number 8 as one of the best tag teams for PWI in 2020. In 2015, they won the WWE Wrestlers of the Year from Rolling Stone. The Wrestling Observer newsletter had them as the best gimmick of 2015. They have won the WWE Championship twice. Obviously, we know it was Kingston and Big E. They are 4-time WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. They are 7-time WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They're 1-time NXT Tag Team Champions. They've won, obviously, we know Xavier Woods won King of the Ring. Kofi is the 13th Grand Slam champion under the current format, 20th overall. He is also a Triple Crown winner. They also, Kingston and Woods, are 3-time tag team Triple Crown winners. And in 2018, they were involved in the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Tournament. In 2019, he won Match of the Year versus Bryan. And, all that stuff. But I think the thing is this. I think when you look at it overall, I mean, obviously a lot of people are going to remember them for their feud with the Usos. And all that stuff. But let's get to some comments here. I don't know, aside from Newsdays, it looks like DIY probably is going to split up tag team, which will make less tag teams go for the belts. Or what if Kofi realizes Xavier's right and the team turns heel? There's nothing. You know what's funny? Hold on. I want to go to this comment first because, Richard, I think that the problem is my issue with how WWE is presenting the Wyatt Six right now. They're not being presented as a dominant team anymore. They're being presented as, okay, here's some guys. It's just like they're just another team. I just feel like there's nothing. And I think a lot of it, for Wyatt Six to get involved, I think a lot of it's going to have to depend on who is one that turns heel. I think a lot of it's going to depend on who is the one that turns heel. I don't think New Day as a whole will turn heel. They've done that already. I think at this point, the next step for them is to break up. As much as I hate to say it, I think the next step for them, because you see all these legendary tag teams. You look at the Road Warriors, you look at the Brainbusters, you look at Edge and Edge and Christian, the Hardys, the Dudleys. None of them stay together forever. I think, honestly, if memory serves me right, I think New Day is the longest continuous running tag team in the history of WWE. I can't really think of there being anybody else right now. Hold on, let me see something now. Now I'm curious. Now I am curious to see here. Hold on 1 second. Longest running tag team. Okay, so obviously, the longest run with the titles is the Usos. But but this is gonna be the big thing here. All right, so now if we do it just based off title runs, okay? If we do it based off title runs here. All right, so that, I mean, like I said, I think New Day, because like I said, you look at a lot of these teams, and for the most part, every one of them pretty much at some point breaks up. As far as DIY, what I could see happening with that, and I hate to say this, I don't think they're going to break DIY up so quick. But what I could see happening is I can see Gargano turning heel, and him and Ciampa kind of look at his, look at Motor City Machine Guns and goes, "Hey, you guys came here. Yeah, we're happy that you guys are here, but you guys took our spot, and you guys have what we want, and we never got those back from the Tongas." So I can see that playing out, and eventually down the road, I can see a heel DIY versus a Motor City Machine Gun. But I don't think the problem is with how loaded that tag team division is right now. Because let's be honest, you have the Usos who are back together. You got Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. I would love, coming out of War Games on Saturday, I would love to see a tag team being formed of Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu. I think those guys would damn near kill everybody. You got those three right there. Throw in Motor City Machine Guns. Throw in the Street Profits. That's 5 teams right there. I mean, how many years was it in WWE where tag teams meant nothing? I mean, shit, go back to not that long ago when it seemed like I remember on Raw specifically, every tag team, for the most part, I don't remember when it was, but I feel like every tag team was breaking up like every other week. I mean, we had Goldust and R-Truth, they broke up. Enzo and Big Cass, they broke up. But also look at those teams. Okay, great example. Look at Enzo and Big Cass. One of the most popular teams in NXT. What they do when they came up to the main roster? Nothing. The fact that they're finally doing stuff with these tag teams. And eventually, I mean, it was announced today that Penta, I think his contract is coming up soon with AEW. And he already said it was already announced he's going to WWE. And I think then Ray will join him sometime next year. So eventually we're going to have the Lucha Brothers. Probably going to have the Rascals still. So, I mean, do you guys realize something here? We could have the possibility at some point in 2025, and I've said this before, and this would be my dream match. I would love to see a scenario where we get a triple threat ladder match. Almost a modern day version of what the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys did. But I would have to be with these three teams. The Motor City Machine Guns, the Usos, and the Tongans. I would love to see a potential triple threat ladder match with I call them Girls of Destiny because that's who they're always going to be to me. But with the Girls of Destiny, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Usos. And if you want to throw a fourth team in there, you can throw the rest. Or, hell, even if you wait late enough, throw the Lucha Brothers in there. Richard chimes in here and says, if DIY doesn't split, I can see DIY causing Motor City Machine Gun to drop the belt somehow so that DIY can regain a title that they never actually lost. Yeah, Richard, that's what I was saying before. Is that I can see Ciampa turning around and saying, "Hey, you guys jumped the line. You guys, you can play the whole thing of, oh, you guys technically didn't earn the title shots. You guys just came at the right time." And I can see that playing out, but I can't see them breaking up DIY so quick. I mean, we went how, and the thing is, I mean, yes, we all know what type of rivalry DIY can have together. I mean, years ago, I used to write for a website called the Inscriber Digital Magazine, and I used to write for them right when Gargano and Ciampa were in their feud in NXT. And I even said it back then, and I'll say it now. What Gargano and Ciampa did back on the Black and Gold days was incredible. It was stuff you never thought you would see. And I still say this much. Probably one of, if not the greatest rivalry we saw down in NXT. There's no two ways about it. But you look at, so like that's what I said. I'm liking right now what they're doing with the tag team division of WWE. And I can't see them doing, I can't for the life of me see them doing something that, I can't really see them. I can't really see them doing anything, that outrageous. But we're going to keep things moving here, guys. We're going to take another short break because I was actually presented a video from, from Saturday, courtesy of the Front Room Office. I got to pull that video up and we'll take a look and see it. But, guys, I'm going to now play it for you guys. I know it's kind of past due at this point, but I'm going to play for you guys now the video of the video package from Sean Donovan and Alex Ryman. Guys, when we come back after this, we will go dive into Survivor Series a little bit more, and we'll talk a little bit more, and then, talk about stuff we're thankful for and all that stuff. Guys, you're watching the Round Rules podcast live on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll be right back after this. You are watching us live again, guys. Hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. There's one just for us. We'll be right back right after this.
This is not pro wrestling anymore, okay? This is legitimately personal.
This isn't called a mecca for fun. This is my place of worship. This is my steeple. This is where the God and devil take bets on my soul. Neither of them won. Wait till the world is mine.
Alex Raymond is trying to be a knockoff version of Cactus Jack.
Wait a second! Donovan is here! Who wasn't here with the mask? Who was that?
He's not really effing crazy.
What's going on here? What the hell? Can we get security? This is my kingdom! Oh! Donovan! Oh my! He's not supposed to even be here! Come on!
Alex! Go! Alex, get off of him! What are you doing?
Stop trying to be a big fish in a small pond. You're better than that, but you just don't realize it.
Because when I made my mind up when I was 4 years old that I wanted to be a professional wrestler, nobody was going to take this away from me. And Sean Donovan, you almost did that. Almost.
You should see me in a
No, he's got a fat. Oh my God! Shoulder alignment. The locker room is trying to gain control. Go! I got Chance. I got no penis. Come on! He was screaming, I think, at Alex's father to get down. Tell your little trainer that I'll be waiting next month. Tell him it's unsanctioned. Tell him there is no lawsuits pending. Tell him there is no law enforcement waiting for him or I. Only a hospital and or a morgue.
And we are back live here on the Round Rose Podcast. Now, obviously, you guys know I talk a lot about the team of not the team. I talk a lot about Front Row Mafia. Great group of guys, and when we're doing our Thanksgiving stuff in a little bit, they'll be a part of that. But guys, I just got this video, and I think from what I saw, it kind of shows the carnage a little bit from Saturday, from Pro Wrestling Metrics last show, which did have the main event of Sean Donovan and Alex Ryan. So, courtesy of the Front Row Mafia, here we go.
Lights out!
Definitely, like I said, I know one of the things I definitely want to do when I can get IWTV back again is I want to definitely go back and watch the show. I definitely want to see how all that played out. And guys, again, coming up on, obviously we have Survivor Series coming up this week. Coming up next Saturday, Titan Championship Wrestling presents Aftermath Revenge. On December 14th, we have Battleground with their next show happen at the 2300 Arena. And I'll go through the matches once again for the show at the 2300 Arena. Kicking things off here, we got Vampiro taking on Crowbar. You know, Perry 1995 WCW's calling for this one. For the BCW World Championship, B-Boy, after he defeated VSK at the last show, takes on Matt Tremont. Followed up by that, we saw MVP taking on Wrecking Ball Legursky. Obviously, we just saw MVP at the Bloodsport this past week. Again, great stuff. Followed by that, Leva Bates challenges Danny Moe. Now, the one thing with Danny Moe, you have to realize something here. Hold on. Okay. Do. All right, guys, just give me 2 seconds here. Because, hold on, just give me 2 seconds here. I got a video I want to grab quickly. But guys, like I said, definitely hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It does wonders for us. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on everything. And let's go. Come on. Be great if my computer actually did what it was supposed to do. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. Give me a second here. Okay. Oh, okay. 9-0 Trio. This is. But, no, I definitely agree, John. She is, and this is actually her 4th title defense with that belt. I know we talked about it on commentary a lot with her and the people she has defeated. The one I'm still waiting for, and unfortunately we kind of did not get this opportunity at the last show, is I'm still waiting for Vicious Vicky, to finally get her shot at that belt. And Vicious Vicky is somebody who I'm hoping to have on the podcast before her next title defense, which will be December 15th, as she takes on the one and only Notorious Mimi at Christmas with a Vengeance. As this video is uploaded now, let's get back now to the other matches. In triple threat action, Isaiah Wolf takes on VSK and Facade. Blackout will be in action as they take on the Sex with Your Next X Express. Obviously, we'll find out who the mystery partner will be, because obviously we all know Alvin Alvarez right now is currently out due to an injury, so we don't know who that third person is going to be yet. Rich Swann takes on Samurai Del Sol for the number 1 contender spot, and obviously the match that pretty much sent shockwaves is Nick Gage takes on Drake Younger for the BCW Street Fight Championship. Don't mind me, but I think the video is okay, guys. Again, I appreciate Front Mafia for sending me this video, guys. Here's a little sneak peek at the carnage from this past Sunday's unsanctioned main event.
What are you doing? No. You get anything. He's gonna hit you. I was aiming for him. It's over. It's over.
Referee Nick Shin has stopped the fight. Alex Hyman can no longer continue. Therefore, the winner of this match, Sean Donovan.
Ow. I can only imagine what it was like in that building for the entire show. Because, wow. And that quick clip, yeah, I wish I was there. And I'll be back at Pro Wrestling Magic at some point next year. I don't know if I'm going to be, I'm probably not going to make it for Kingdom Come, but I'll be there at some point next year. But holy crap. But guys, let's get into it right now. I'm going to give you my Survivor Series 2024 predictions. And we'll start things off here with, for the World Heavyweight title, Gunther takes on Damian Priest. For this one, I think Gunther retains. I know they've been playing it off that, Damian Priest has kind of gotten into his head, but I can't see them dropping the belt so quickly. Like I said, especially the fact we are this close to the Rumble, and from what I'm hearing, I think I think the probably the most feasible time Gunther would drop that belt is at WrestleMania to probably a one Mr. John Cena. So I can't see him dropping the belt here. Coming up next, we have the Women's War Games match. As it was announced this past week, Jade Cargil is pulled from the match and is being replaced by Bayley. If I had to give a prediction of who I think is going to win this, I hate to say this, but I think it's going to be Liv, Nia, Tiffany, Raquel, and Candice. I say that for one reason. I think you look at the other side, okay? Obviously, Bianca's going to be worried about what happened with Jade. Rhea's going to be too concerned about Liv. Bayley kind of plugged herself in it, but Bayley also has back history with Nia. I think Io Sky is going to be the interesting one here, and Naomi, I still think is going to be the one that's going to end up being found out to be the one to attack Jade. Let me just see here what comments we got coming in now. Yeah, David, yes, that was brutal. Coming up next, we got a triple threat match for the IC title between Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, and your current IC champion, Braun Breaker. I think Breaker gets the win here, and I think Sheamus takes the pin. Sheamus is at a point in his career where if he takes a pin here, it's not going to hurt him at all. It's only going to elevate Braun, and I think later on, I think sometime in 2025, I think is when we get Braun Breaker, Ludwig Kaiser at some point. I really think that's the way we're going to go. Next we got is LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura as LA Knight defends the U.S. title. I mean, let's be honest here. LA Knight's not losing this belt. Shinsuke, as much as I would love Shinsuke to come in and be like the guy who's going to, I think all it's going to do is just help elevate LA Knight at this point. Because the problem is we haven't seen much from Shinsuke. We have not seen anything really from him. So I can't really see him winning the title. So I think LA Knight retains here. Now, for what I think will be, well, not what I think, what should be the goddamn main event, is your Survivor Series War Games for the men, as we got Roman Reigns, CM Punk, the Usos, and Sami Zayn taking on the team of Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Big Bronson Reed, and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. Yeah, Laura, I still have that cough, unfortunately. That's why I'm not going to be on much longer, because my throat is like killing me right now. My throat's probably saying to me, "Idiot, you could have taken a week off from the show." But as far as who I think wins this, this one's going to be a tough one. This one is going to be a tough one because I think personally, yeah, Laura, I did, and basically they said to me, some cough medicine, and you should be good in a couple of days, but my voice is still like shot beyond belief. As far as this one goes, I don't know. Because the problem with this one, I think The Rock returns here. I don't know. This one is a tough one. This one is a legit tough one. For the fact of this one can go either way. I think if Solo and his team wins, that's basically because tension grew and Sammy turned heel, or Punk's true intentions came out. However, if Roman's team wins, I think that's going to be because Jacob. Like I said, this one is a tough one. Who do I see winning this though? When push comes to shove, I think it's going to be Solo. I think it's going to be Solo's team because I think it's going to eventually push for Roman to go after Rock at Mania. So we'll see what happens with that. But guys, that is my predictions. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win. Again, I'll go through them one more time in case people are joining. For this one, I have Gunther winning. For this one, I have the team. I have Team Liv Morgan winning. For this one, I got Braun Breaker winning and Sheamus taking the pin. This one I got LA Knight winning, and for this one I got Solo Sikoa's team winning. Let me go like that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I got one more thing I want to get to before we wrap things up for tonight. And obviously, if you're watching the show and you live in the United States, you know that yeah, Randy, I definitely want to take a chance to watch that. And I'm hoping at some point to have Dave on. I really am. I think you'll get your ass. Yeah, more than likely. But I do want to just say one quick thing before we wrap up for tonight. And guys, I would go a little bit longer, but my throat is like killing me right now. As far as with Thanksgiving coming up, I just want to mention a few things that I'm thankful for outside of the world of pro wrestling. And I kind of want to start it off with the ATR Nation. You guys are the reason why I bust my ass every week doing the show. Even when I'm in like this condition and my sexy succulent voice here is what you guys are hearing right now. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for all the support and everything. I'm thankful for everything as far as what the show has brought. I mean, this show literally started off as an idea, and 3 years later, it's getting bigger and bigger. And there is a few people I do want to say that I'm very thankful for. One of them is Amanda. I don't think she's watching right now. I think she fell asleep, but no, I am thankful for her kind of making me the man I am now. Thanks, Randy. I appreciate that a lot. I also want to say thankful for the Front Row Mafia, for Randy, for John, for being huge fans of the show, and for supporting the show every which way they can. I appreciate it a lot. For David, I mean, I can go through a whole laundry list, but I know there's two people who I definitely want to say I'm thankful for. And unfortunately, I don't think either of them are watching right now. So if anybody can, let them know. I appreciate it. And that's heel Ryan Peterson and Billy Ann Wolf. And I'll say Ryan first. I know him and I have had our issues, where we've butted heads, but I know damn well with him, I'm thankful for him, and obviously, I'm thankful to have Billy as a friend. And I'm thankful for also all these opportunities that I've gotten with all the traveling I've been doing. But guys, again, I want to wish everybody a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys don't have too much turkey. I would say you can watch Giants, but they'll probably lose on Thursday to Dallas anyways. Also, just want to make another mention quickly. I did see the movie Wicked on Sunday night, and I thought it was incredibly done. It was done very well. The music was great, and overall, if you have not seen it yet, I would highly recommend going to see it. And like I said, the music is great. I'll say this much. I thought Ariana Grande did a fantastic job in a movie that a lot of people didn't think she would do too well in, but I think she nailed it, times 10 and all that other stuff. Guys, definitely go check it out. It's a really good. The only thing I will say, though, it's a long movie. It's almost 3 hours long, so just be prepared. But overall, I love the movie. And then also this past weekend, I did see Red One, The Rock's movie. Wasn't great, but it was worth it, though. But guys, from the bottom of my heart, I want to wish everybody a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. I want to thank everybody who joined tonight. I know tonight's show was kind of quick, and I kind of breezed through a lot of stuff. But again, the way my voice is right now, I didn't want to overstrain it a bit. Again, guys, we will be back live we'll be back live next Tuesday. I'm not sure yet if I'm doing a watch along for Survivor Series yet. I don't know how that's going to play out, but we shall see. Again, guys, if you haven't done so yet, please hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page. It costs you nothing. Does wonders for us. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on X. Hopefully in the next couple of days, I will start having some clips up from the show on TikTok, so you guys can also watch that as well. Yes, guys, we do have a TikTok as well. And guys, go support the podcast. Go support all the podcasts out there. And guys, go support independent wrestling. Like what you like. Go support it. It's an amazing time right now to be a wrestling fan. And in the words of Billy Joel, life's a set of hellos and goodbyes. But unfortunately, guys, it's time for me to say goodbye. Again, hopefully everybody has a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. And we will see you guys here next week. First show of December of 2024. Scary to think, guys. We're only a couple weeks away from the end of the year. So, guys, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it a lot. We'll catch you guys next time.